I always like to be ready for a stabbing. Okay, so it's probably more like ready for a box cutting, because that's usually what I use my knives for. But today we're going to talk about knives and what I carry. Actually, I just got some new knives from eBay and wanted to kind of check them out here, see how much they weighed, etc., etc. So my cameraman, he gave me this knife to compare everything to. It's your standard Harbor Freight GK21. I'm not really familiar with the Harbor Freight knives, but stainless blade, nice opening. It's got like a ball bearing inside there. Your kind of standard push it down right there to close. Got your belt clip, and it's the style where the belt clip is you pull it out and open it like that. Nice. Although it looks like you can probably reverse the clip. There are holes. He says he flipped it when he got it. So there we go. He's a man of good taste, I see. But here we go. The GK21, it is 99.1 grams. I personally would find that heavy. He does not. It's what he carries. It works very well. Now, what I just got in were these SOG knives from eBay, and I can tell you that whoever owned these last either burns candles or has Glade plugins, and I don't know my Glade plugins very well, but one of my employees said it was Island Breeze or something like that. It's like a very certain Glade plugin. I believe him. It stinks so much that it rubs off on my hands and I can still smell it. So we got this guy. I don't know what you would call this style of knife and sheath, but maybe like a boot knife or something. It's got these little things on the side. You could strap it to your thigh. Maybe it's like a gardener knife. I don't know. Conceal knife of some sort. But it's got this neat little case. We'll go ahead and weigh it with the case. And it is 51 grams. That's light enough for me. Now, I don't really wear boots. I typically will wear just, like sneakers or whatever. But it's nice and small. A little 3-finger guy right there. You can put a loop on it. There's all kinds of options with this. I was just browsing eBay and I came across a listing for some relatively inexpensive knives. This one is called the Instinct Mini. Full stainless. It's got that cutout right there in the middle to keep it nice and light. Very minimal knife for sure, but it's got a good fit into this molded plastic. Probably just ABS. Yeah, it sounds like ABS case. And a little threaded piece right there for a swivel or whatever mount. It may have come with that and it just didn't get into the eBay auction. I don't know if I'll be carrying this. 51 grams. It's a little heavier than what I'm used to. But yeah, I kind of got a knife problem. I'm not sure how many knives I have, somewhere around 50 or so. Maybe that's not even a knife problem. Y'all got to let me know in the comments. Along with that, what do you like to carry and why? I wanna get some ideas because I kind of like buying knives. In the same lot of knives, it was like 20 bucks for the two. We got this also from SOG, the Micron 2. It is a very small knife. It's got the like the buck knife style where you depress it down here to get rid of the lock blade. I do prefer lock blades. Just, I don't know. I've got a lot of old timers and that sort of knife and they're not lock blades. I don't like to carry them. Just, I don't know. They're also kind of heavy. They look nice, but they don't fit well in my hand. Not really my favorite here. This one, as you can see, is kind of worn, but it's never even been sharpened, it looks like. It's still, super duper dull. A little bend to the tip. It's a used knife, so there's going to be some damages. I kind of feel like bending this back. I'll do it later. Again, stainless blade. Looks like all stainless construction with some black oxide. No, that's not black oxide. That's just like a black paint. 40 grams, even lighter. Neat little knife, though. I kind of like how they laser cut the SOG in there. Neat. Also looks like potentially rebuildable if you need to. Allen keys there and a little flat blade, whatever you call that, on the pivot. No pivot on this one, of course. And then this one, which is turned into my daily carry, this one is also from SOG, Studies and Observations Group. And this is the Ultra XR, part number on here, CPM S35VN. I'm not sure if that denotes anything. Although I do like knives, I'm not like a super big knife buff. But this sucker right here, 35 grams, 34.9 grams. I really do like this one. It's nice and light. It keeps a good edge, which I do need to sharpen this one soon. I have sharpened it once, but it's something that I need to learn more about. I'm not great at sharpening. A lot of times I can get it sharper, but then I roll the edge or I do something funny when I'm sharpening it and it kind of ruins the work that I did. So what I've found out is that the best thing for me to do is to just strap it on some leather. Actually, the belt that I'm wearing right now is the leather that I use. I can loop it through like a cabinet pull or something like that, and then just as long as I do that relatively frequently, it always stays sharp. But I mostly use it for boxes, you know, little box opening action there. I don't know. This one wouldn't be good for stabbing, although it does have a little to the hilt right there. It's a very, very thin knife, and it would slip, especially if I had I don't know, wet hands or sweaty hands or something, which in the case of needing to thrust your knife in this direction, probably gonna have sweaty hands and it's gonna slip over that. It's happened to me a few times when I was just using it normally. I have cut myself on that blade. So just something to be aware of when you do have really small, thin knives like this. They're not exactly made for using. It's made for the carry more than the use. But if I'm just opening up boxes and it's all pulling action, totally fine. I kind of like this closing action as well. It's a little spring-loaded dealy bob right there. You just pull it and do one of those. It's a two-handed closer, which, you know, maybe that's a no-go for you, but it works fine for me. Super light. I'm gonna put it back where it belongs here. So I don't know if I'll end up carrying any of these. Well, definitely not this one because it's not mine. But it'd be nice, you know, maybe something to give to my kids. You know, they've got smaller hands. This one as well, I don't know if I'd go stabbing with this one. It almost has nothing for a hilt right there. So all steel, no grip. It's gonna slide with any sort of action. Not that I'm too worried about that. Also, two-handed closer. That might be a little tough for the kids, actually. It takes a pretty good amount of force. But I grew up with little buck knives, and that's how I got used to it. This guy, I don't know what you would even call that. That is kind of a hilt, but it's also just finger shaped. It fits very well, but this is a mini knife, or yeah, a mini knife, not a micro. They call it a mini, so it's a mini. It's shaped nice, but I mean, even for box cutting, it kind of feels weird. But as a backup, maybe you need to cut some cordage or something like that in a pinch. It'd be great for that. And honestly, if it's gonna be on my lower body, the 50 gram or so weight that this was, I believe is 50 grams. That's not much. That's not even 2 ounces. Fairly light, yeah, 51 grams. That's something that could definitely be down there, and I'd never really notice it. So yeah, we'll see if I end up carrying it. It might be something that's better for putting into a certain storage space or having somewhere where it's hanging up and, you know, good for, yeah, not good for stabbing. I wouldn't say. But if I have some place in my house that needs some knives, that'd be a good one. Yeah. Maybe I'll bring in more of my collection. Y'all let me know if that'd be something that you're interested in. I do have quite a few knives. And again, I'm not exactly a connoisseur of knives, but I do like collecting them, and I pretty much always carry one on me, which is a problem when I travel via air now, because I don't really like to check them, but that's the only place that you can do it. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll actually go somewhere. It's actually what happened with this one. And I will buy a knife while I am there so I can use it. And then I usually have so much stuff that I end up shipping it back. And then, and of course, if it's a new knife, I'm not really attached to it. I can throw it in my check bag, which I don't always have. Usually I just end up shipping them back. It's what I did with this one last time as well. I just ship it back. And then I have another knife to my collection. So every time I travel, I usually end up getting a knife. Is that a problem? I don't know. So leave your comments down below. Is it a problem that I buy a new knife every time that I travel? Or what do you like to carry? Because I know a lot of y'all probably have daily carries as well. Maybe you cycle between a few different knives that you like. I have a butterfly knife that I used to carry a lot when I was younger, but it's really heavy. It's a Benchmade, actually, that's really nice. It's held an edge over the years. Not that I use it a whole lot, but it was fun when I was a child, and I still have it. Somehow it didn't float away from me. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you like to carry. I'd love to hear about it because I do like my knives. As always, thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. You've made it to the end of the video. Hopefully that means you liked what you saw. If you want to help out the channel, you can like, subscribe, and definitely comment down below. We would like to hear new ideas from you, so be sure you let us know what you'd like to see. There are some other suggestions probably floating by my head right now that you can check out, and otherwise we appreciate your support and your help growing the channel.